Okay, so I am coming at you for Angel's Whisper on Canyon Lake. This is where we are. It's after sundown. There's my little cove that I was at yesterday. And what I did was, I've already done this reading, but I did it on my deck. I was hot and I was rushed, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it right here from the lake, and I'm going to wing it. I'm going to go without my cards. But I'll let you know that the deck that I'm using is Oracle of the Shadows and Light by Lucy Cavendish. And the cards that we have been given, I'm watching all the animal totems flying around us. The cards are going to be, the first one is Sea Beacon Fairy. And the Sea Beacon Fairy is speaking about, she's a fairy that stands in the ocean. And you can see in the background of the card, I'll describe it for you. You can see in the background of the card, there is a ship that's coming from a distance. And it's saying that her message to you is, does the light that's being held up promise to lead you to safe harbor, or does it lead you to rocks to perish? And in front of her are these rocks. So it's kind of a tricky question. It's like, geez, you know, you've got a light which is guiding you, a path that, you know, we ask for guidance, and so there's something that's come. It's going to be an answer to you. And but whether it leads you where you're meant to be going, or whether it's going to lead you somewhere that's going to be harmful for you, is what you need to figure out. And so you're thinking, that's not fair. You know, you're asking for guidance. But what they're doing is they're asking for you to combine not only your intuitive gifts, but your brain together. So they're saying, yes, intuitively, you are being shown this is a solution to a problem that you have. But what is your head telling you? What is your heart saying to you more so? Your head is the one that's telling you this is a solution to your problems. Your heart might be saying something different. So there's a couple of different messages. It might be also that, are you jumping at the first opportunity that comes along because the situation that you're finding yourself in seems to be really challenging and you're tired of the challenges, so you're going to jump at the first thing that comes? Or is there going to be an offer that's made to you that's actually not in your highest good, and you need to research it and check to make sure that what's coming for you is your highest, is truly coming from not what your head's telling you, but what your head, along with the guidance that you get, is saying to you. So it's like, check in with spirit to make sure that the message that you're getting is truly one that's leading you in the direction that you're meant to go, that's in your highest good. Also, it might be that you've got more opportunities in front of you, or at your disposal, or near you, that can help you with this problem than you're actually realizing. So don't maybe be so quick to jump at the first opportunity that comes along. So that's your first message. The second message, I'm just going to kind of like spin around so you guys can see where I'm at, because you can see in the background. Isn't this nice? I thought, how fun. You know, here I am. I'm like literally sitting in my boat. And I thought this would be a way funner way to do a reading. You know, I like to do things outside. Okay, so the next message that's coming, we've had this message before, so we're getting it repetition for emphasis, because possibly we're not listening to the messages that we're getting. And this is coming from Marie Masquerade. And there's several messages that come to this one, that come with this card. Either you're about to be presented with an offer. It's a tainted offer, however. It's offering you something that's intriguing to you. Possibly this person is very charming. They will probably become across very charming to you. And they're going to offer you something that might come at a high price. So you need to be careful about being sucked into something, because it's definitely something that you're going to be intrigued by. It's something that you're going to want. Like I said, it's going to be, something that tempts you isn't something that you, it tempts you because it's something you want. They've got something that you want. So, and also this person might be somebody that's actually in a position of power or authority, is what they're saying. It might be somebody that you look up to. So they might offer something to you, and you might be tempted to take it because of that position as well. But they're asking for you, again, listen to your guidance, your higher self, the messages from spirit as well. Not just be tempted by what may seem appealing to you on the outside, on the surface. Another message is that it speaks about somebody who might be having gossip spoken about them. And they're talking about you being a true friend. This person needs a true friend, not a fair weather friend. So they're asking for you to be a true friend, not a fair weather friend. It also could be that it's you that this gossip is being spoken of. And they're saying if it's you that this gossip is talking about, there's nothing you can do about what other people think and say. So basically all you can do is, keep yourself above it, you know, lift yourself above it. Don't resort to the lower level. You know who you are. Keep moving in the direction that you're meant to go, and don't feed it energy, because when you feed it energy, the situation grows. So there's that. It also could be that this comes about at a time when you're possibly feeling maybe feelings of envy or jealousy. That maybe there's somebody in your life that you feel is getting something that you deserve. You've worked hard for, and here they're getting it. You know, that's not really fair. And so what they're saying to you is, don't be jealous. Work at what it is that you need to do to bring your life in accordance for your highest good. Everybody is where they're meant to be when they're there. So if this person has something come to them, it's theirs. And if it's not come to you yet, it's not your time. So keep moving forward on your path. And don't be envious about what others have or what you think they have. Because you know what? Things look different on the surface than they actually truly are at times. Okay, so there's that message. The next message we have is coming to us from, let me see if I can remember this. Who's coming next? We have Marie Antoinette, Mystery, Marie Masquerade, we have Sea Beacon Fairy, we have, oh, what is the next one? Ah, I know what the next one is, Kali. We've had Kali before as well, so we're getting her revisiting us. Kali is the goddess, a Hindu goddess of just death and destruction, but also of rebirth. So what they're saying is this is a time period in your life of destruction around you. It might feel chaotic, but it's actually, when Kali comes to you, it's actually you that's called her in. So what they're saying is there's endings, and she's coming to sever ties. She's coming to cut cords of one's false fair weather friends who are draining your energy, who are not true friends, relationships, situations in your life that are not in your highest good. So she's coming to end these. And it's very, very final, and it could feel very chaotic if you fight her. So what she asks, are you ready to go through with what you're asking of her? Because truly it is you that's called her in. So now she's here to bring an end to this. And you have to remember that when there's a death, there's also a rebirth. Death is never a true ending. There's always a rebirth. And she is the goddess of endings and rebirth. So we won't be getting as many totems tonight unless we get the bats coming out. And the little swallows that are going after the gnats. But we did have one when I did my reading earlier, so I'm going to swipe that totem. And it was a vulture, and it was intriguing because that's when we got the Kali. And with vulture, or California condor, we like to call them, they are actually totems about, here I could probably talk to you like that. It's a little bright still. They talk to you about death, rebirth, and regeneration, because that's what they do. Vultures, they clean up the carrion, right? They clean up the dead, and then they recycle. So there's a method to the madness of Kali's destructive course that's coming forward, just like the vultures. There has been a death. They're going to recycle that, and then it comes through them. They feed off of the dead. They clean it away, just like she's coming to clean it away. And then from that becomes new life, and it feeds them. And so new life comes from it. So we're not to be afraid of this, but it can be very chaotic, and it can be very frightening when something truly has to come to an end. So there is something in your life that truly must come to an end, and you must surrender it gracefully. And they're saying, the question is, are you ready? Are you ready to do what's required of you when this ending comes about? Are you truly ready to let it go? I will give you a message that came to me. I didn't start this one up because I was kind of afraid we were going to totally lose the light, but I'm sure you've been aware that my name has changed, my last name. And my last name is now Lation. On Facebook it says Standal Lation. On my Angel's Whisper page it says Sherry Lation. On my website it's Sherry Lation. On my Twitter and Google and LinkedIn pages it's Sherry Lation. So that is legally who I am. Sherry Lynn Lation. Nice to meet you. What it is I've been getting this coming to me for quite a long time, actually, and I almost did this last year. I had a slight meltdown when I was in Sedona with my friend Kieran, and it's when I saw my birth name, Standal, and it brought up all of this stuff about how it's who I really am. You know, the name that I was adopted by, what it brought up was adoption. And it brought up, when I was adopted by my father, it changed my life drastically, my stepfather. The person that I was, I ceased to be, and I started to follow this different life course. And it was very difficult. And when I got married, I never took that name back. I took Columbus on. But lately I've been getting the message from Spirit. The time has come to clear the energy from your ex. And I thought, I don't have a connection to any ex. I have cleared all my energy. I'm not connected to anyone. I am connected to my twin soul only, no one else. And I don't understand it, but I kept getting it again and again and again. And so remember that. That's floating around my head. And then I've also been dreaming a lot, and what I've been getting is a lot of connection to my past lives. I have several past lives, Native American, Cherokee specifically, and I've had my Native American guides coming to me, and I've been seeing them. I've actually met one of my Native American guides in the physical. She presented herself to me, an older Native American guide. But lately I've been having this very tall, very handsome man. He's come to me. He wears a silver disc on his chest, and it's about gifts that he's asking me to sing forth. So that's my new gifts that are coming. There's also a young girl that I've been told that's whispering on, like saying shh, because she's saying that there's winds of change coming into my life. They're blowing favorably in my direction. Okay, so all this connection to the Native Americans. My twin soul, I started to tell him about the things that I was getting, and I was getting things, you know, about Las Vegas. I kept hearing Las Vegas, Las Vegas, and I said, you know, does Las Vegas mean something to us? And he said, yes, that's where he lived, and blah, 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 blah. And then I said to the Anasazi, because I keep hearing the words Anasazi, Anasazi. Does that mean anything to you? And he said, yes, that's the ancient ones, the ancient Native Americans that are coming to teach you. Listen to them. So I said, okay. So I've been getting them again. I've been hearing Anasazi again. They've come up again. This was over a year ago. And the same thing, dragonflies, hold on to your dreams, see past the illusions. They're all around us right now. If anybody comes whipping by, I'll try and grab it. But I just saw them. Anyway, so what else was it? So Anasazi, the Native American guides talking about, oh, in Vegas, Las Vegas. So going back to my name change, when I changed my name, I was guided to do it. I listened and I did it. I always listen to what my guidance, you know, after I check, and I mean, like I said, I've been thinking about this for over a year, and I almost did it then. I literally put my name up on my Facebook page, Sherry Standel, last year, and it didn't resonate for me because I haven't written that name since I was 7, and I never knew my father. I didn't meet him until I was 18, my biological father. And he abandoned the family. So it was kind of like, you know, I didn't have a great resonation with that name. But I loved the name Lation. It was my grandmother's name. My grandma raised me when I was little. That's who I resonate mostly with, is my grandma. And my mother, it was her maiden name. And I've always loved that. And I've always said to my kids, you know, gosh, I wish I kept Graham's name. I wish I'd kept Graham's name. I love that name. And my son said, why don't you? And I said, I don't know, because it wasn't my name ever. I mean, can I just do that? And he said, you can be Mickey Mouse if you want. And I thought, nah, I don't know. So I kind of just left it. But I always loved it. And it's Welsh, and I'm Welsh. I'm 75% Welsh, a quarter Norwegian. And I resonate very much with the forest, I told you, and the Welsh name Lation. I grew up, you know, playing in the forest with my cousins, and their names were all Lation. It just felt right to me. So when I got that, I kept getting that message again and again. I went to do my guitar lesson. My guitar teacher is a numerology person, and he did my name in numerology. And I've had it done once before, and I already had this kind of information, that the name that I was given, my birth name, resonated very much about who I am now and who I was as a little girl. But when I became Sherry Bergman, my adopted name, it drastically changed who I was, and it set me on a much more difficult life path. My first name, Sherry, will never change, so that's my life path, the number 6. But when you add up the letters to the other numbers, that's what you get. Oh, look. Crane. We'll talk about him in a second. Did you see him? Crane. Actually, that was a blue heron. That was a blue heron. Standing on your own 2 feet. Determination. Standing on your independence. Interesting. Okay. So, it just, when it changed to Bergman, it made my life much more difficult. So then I got married, and it was Columbus, and I kept that name because my son was Columbus, and he would always have that name, and I felt like I wanted to resonate with my child, at least one of my kids. I knew my daughter's name would change. So as I said, I kept getting again and again, it's time to clear your energy. Time to clear your energy of your ex. And I thought, what? So I do this numerology thing, and he does it with Lation, or no, with Standel, and he says, wow, this is really who you are. And I said, I know. And then I said, what is it with Columbus? And he said, he did it, and he says, geez, no wonder you have so many challenges. And I thought, really? And he goes, yeah. He says, you know, I'd go back to your maiden name if I were you. You know, it's who you are, and it's more in line with your path and what you're doing. And I thought, I know, I've felt that, but I don't resonate very well with that name. And I said, I resonate with Lation. Could you check and see what happens if my last name is Lation? So he checked it for me, and he said, how interesting. The numbers don't change. So I could be Lation or Standal, and they would be, the numbers would resonate numerically well for me in the same instance. So I asked, and I dreamed, and oh, look, another totem right there. Can I zoom this in? I can't. I always think I can, and I can't. There's our white heron. How beautiful is he on the shore? And the white heron, the great heron, talks about longevity and royalty and a soulmate connection, a true soulmate connection. Ah, and the blue heron, standing on your own 2 feet, and independence and self-reliance. And both are water birds, talking about digging down deep in your emotional waters, which clearly I'm doing with my name changing. So anyway, I decided to do the name Lation, right? First person says to me, what does Lation mean? And I thought, how weird that I wouldn't even have looked that up. I always look everything up. So while I was looking up, and I didn't think, I said, I'll look it up later, right? So that day I was getting all the messages from the Anasazi and from Vegas, and it was driving me crazy. And I asked my twin, why are they showing me Vegas again and again? What does it mean to me? Why do they keep bringing it to my attention? So I went to Google, like I tell you guys always to do with the animal totems, right? Look up white whooping crane or white sandhill crane. Look that up. That's the totem message. Look up great heron, blue heron. Look up California condor or vulture. All you have to do is go to Google and look it up, and there you'll get your messages in detail, and they're amazing. So that we saw all these ones tonight, that means that you need to do that. I've given you a few of their messages, but there's much more detail. So I went and I looked up all of them. First I went and I looked up Las Vegas. Why did they bring me to Las Vegas? What does it mean? Las Vegas, Las Vegas. Well, Las Vegas means, actually, it's not what it means. What was interesting is Las Vegas, and it showed right at the very top, is where the Anasazi originated. The ones who keep coming to me, the native, you know, the Native Americans, the ancient ones that keep coming to me and speaking to me. This is where they originated, was in Las Vegas. And then the word Las Vegas itself means meadow, the meadows. So she says to me, look up my name, Lation. What does it mean? So I look up Lation, and it means Little John. And I laughed because I said, I grew up in the forest. And Lation is bringing me back to the forest, resonating with my life there and my family there and everybody in the forest. How cool is that? And I laughed. But then I looked up, what does John mean? And John has a derivative of Jacob, which is my twin soul. And I thought, wow. And when I kept saying that they kept saying to me, you're going back to Las Vegas, I wasn't really going to Las Vegas. I was coming back to me, who I really was, my true self. And so all of it connected together, and I thought, how incredibly fascinating. And what's interesting to me is that this all came to me, and I got all of these answers after I changed my name, after I listened to my guidance and followed my guidance and changed my name to Lation, as I was meant to, probably. Actually, I did it at the time that I was meant to do it. But it's interesting that then, after I had done this, all of these other messages came. How cool is that? I'm sinking in my boat. Sorry. Okay, so another message I got. I've been dreaming, I told you, with my Native American guides. They've been coming to me. Well, last night I had another dream, and there he was again, the large, handsome Native American man that's been coming to me regularly. And there was a ceremony taking place. And we were standing in a field. We were standing in a meadow. We were standing in the meadow. That's why, because he's the Anasazi. So we're standing in a meadow, and there was a ceremony taking place. A meadow. My name is Sherry. Las Vegas means a meadow. How funny. Sherry means a meadow. So we're standing in a meadow, and there's this ceremony taking place. And he's standing to my left, and to my right is my twin soul. And the man to the left, he's a Cherokee, and he does this call out into the wind, and the wind is blowing. And he calls very loudly out into the wind. But then here's my twin soul coming up to the right side of me, and he whistles into the wind. It's like a whistle, very soft. He came up beside me. He was very silent. He was very quiet, very still. But he made the same call as the Native American guide, and yet his call was like a whistle, like I said, very, very slight. And it went around with the wind, and it went all around around this meadow, and it came back to me. So it's like, I'll have to get all of the rest of the meaning. It's kind of like skirting around the edge of my dreams and the edge of my subconscious mind, but I will get it. But I want to share it with you because I'm going to be sharing it with you when I get the final message. So that, I brought that up to you. Why? I'll probably come back to it. The ending, the rebirth, no, it's not about that. It's about the next one, because the next message we have is love is strange, strange Valentine. And we've had this one again as well. So this is a revisit to this one. And it's telling us that what you see when you look on the card, you see this girl, and she's adorable. She's young and she's pretty, and she's standing there, and she looks quite unsure of herself. She's got this kind of trepidatious look on her face. And behind her is this big kind of monster. And she's got a necklace with a heart on it. And he's holding a big heart with lace around it. And he's coming up behind her. And basically what it's saying is there's a lot of cosmic help in the area of your love life at this time. And they're saying that you might be bumping into someone who's going to be reawakening these long lost feelings that you thought that were gone. Love is in the air, and it's coming to you. And the difference, it's interesting that they showed this, they called him a Yeti, and it's kind of like a monster. And they're saying, don't allow the differences to push you apart, because they're drawing you together. That's exactly what's drawing you together. It's like the yin and the yang, one half of the other whole. And it might be someone that wasn't your normal type. It might have that happened. My phone's dying. Don't be afraid of the love that's coming for you. It's coming for you because it's meant to be your highest good. If you'd like to follow me, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google+, www.thewhispersofangels.com, all under Sherry Lynn Lation. Facebook as well. I hope this has been fun, even though it's been cut up. I'm so sorry. 3 different videos. Have a great day. We'll speak again. Blessings.